Hello and welcome to the second part of my video about playthrough of the Tannenberg 14 game. I am playing scenario 1 titled Mobilization, and currently Russians are swarming into the eastern Prussia. They had some good luck with rolling a die during the battles, and because of that Rennenkampf's first army broke through the first line of German defense, making its way further into the eastern Prussia. Germans have problems because they lost they suffered some losses, and they were forced to drive back from their initial defensive positions. So they might have they might be in troubles. Well, it depends if they will finally use some of their reserves. We have two big masses of Russians coming from the east and a smaller one coming from the south. But as you can guess, it will take some time for Samsonov's army to reach German positions, so Germans might try to take care of Rennenkampf army first. Okay, so we can start turn 4 of our game, and we are starting with Germans. Germans lost their Zeppelin, so they cannot use it anymore. This is bad, because this can be very effective with slowing Russian units moving because of cutting their supply roads. And now, here we are on the south. Here we don't have much to do, since Russians are still coming and they are quite slow, so we can wait for them. Let's see what's going on here. Now, here the situation might be a bit more problematic. I will move this in this division 1, 2, 3 here. Now this brigade 1, 2, 3. I will provide it quite a big supply of headquarters and big artillery. So I think this will be enough to hold the position. I should probably retreat this brigade 1, 2, 3, because there is a danger of being encircled. Okay, so that's all. And now the place where the major battle is fought. What Germans are going to do? First, I have to withdraw my artillery because it's in danger of being destroyed. Second, I have to... well, these guys were forced to retreat, so they can't fortify themselves. Now, I have to move them here. And because of that, this artillery should retreat 1 hex as well. Now, these Russians are disorganized, so I might actually try to counterattack on them with this unit and this brigade here. This can be quite risky, but I think this is something I should do. Now this Königsberg division will take positions here and here with its artillery like that, and that's all. Still this reserve corps led by von Below here. I think I should move at last 1 division on north. 1, 2, 3. To secure this Instenburg here. You can see this is a very important junction, so it's better to have some units there, just in case. Okay, that's all when it comes to the German movement. Let's go with German combat. I have 1 German attack here to resolve, 6, and they have 7, but their strength is halved because they are out of supply, so they have 4, so it's 10, and I will use this artillery with 6, so I have 16 against 4, because when unit is disorganized it has its strength halved, so I have 16 against 4, it is 4 to 1, it is 3 to 1 because of the Russian commander, so it's 3 to 1, and let's go and see if I can do something. 6 with 3 to 1, it is -1 B1. So Germans are suffering 1 step loss, and Russians have to retreat 1 hex, but they cannot because all around are enemy zones of control, so they have to suffer 1 step loss as well. Alright, so that's all, and now we have to check for German supply. So this unit is in supply now, because here, but these guys are not, because here is Russian unit, here is Russian unit, so their supply roads are closed. What should I do next about Germans? They are all in supply, and on the south there are no problems. So that's all when it comes to Germans. Okay, let's go with Russians, and I will start with the south edge of the board, with this Samsonov army still trying to make its way. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, and now these guys are just about to cross the Russian-German border. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, and like that. So they will be still in supply. This division, 1, 2, and this supply base goes here. Okay, so now all this big mass of Russians here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This division, 1, and fighting here will be very hard, so that's not a good idea. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe like this. They are not moving, so they will get reorganized. Now this division, 1 and 2. This artillery, 1. This brigade goes here, they go here, they go here, and they go here. Oh, and this cavalry division, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's all. And now north. This brigade is a problem. I should do something with it. 1, 2, 3, 1, and give him some serious artillery support. Now I have to take care of these Germans. This Russian unit is disorganized, so I will fortify itself, hoping it will survive. Then I will attack these Germans with all my strength here. These guys will fortify themselves for now. Same goes to them. I need more of my units. One. These supply bases are moving here. I will give them escort of this cavalry. Now I will move this artillery here to make more place. One. One. And one. So that's the entire movement of Russians, and now I can resolve Russian attacks. I don't have any attacks here. You can see that these guys are on the adjacent hexes, but there is a lake between them, and lake negates zone of controls. There is no option to move through the lake, so we don't have to attack these Germans with this Russian cavalry division. And now, all I have to do is check my northern part of the front. So let's go and start the combat here. I have 2, 8, so 10, and 6, so it's 16, and 4. So I have 20 against 7, so it's 3-1. And my commander, no, he has only 2 hexes range, so 1, 2, so he cannot support in this combat. I should move him, but now I cannot. So I have 2-1. Let's make a roll. Oh, that was great roll. 3. 3 in the 2-1 is B2. So Germans have to retreat 2 hexes. They have to make a disorganization check. They made it since they rolled 4. Oh, I should place it here. It's great. And now this Russian cavalry moves like that. Okay, the other combat goes here. I have 8, 16, 20, 20 and 24. 24 against 2 and 5 and 3, so it's 5. 24 to 5, it's 5-1. 6, oh no, there is artillery, so it's 3. So I have 24 to 8, so it's 3-1. 4-1 because of the commander, 3-1 because of the fortification, and 2-1 because of the woods. So it's 2-1, and the result is 8, so it's A1. So attacker has to retreat 1 hex. All the attacking units have to withdraw 1 hex. So Germans made it. Okay, that's all when it comes to the Russian attacks. Now let's check for Russian supply. They are all linked because supply base is here. 2 supply bases actually. So all of them are linked. Same goes here, I believe. Yes, all of them are in supply. Now for them, supply base is here, so it's 1, 2. So they are in supply. And same situation here. This unit is still in Russia, so it's supplied, and all of them have supply as well. Okay, so that's all when it comes to the Russian actions, and this concludes for turn 4 of the game. Alright, we are starting with the turn 5. So let's go south first, like always, and again nothing. Germans are holding their line pretty well. Russians are just approaching them, so so far nothing bad is about to happen to Germans here, I believe. Okay, and let's go look in the center. So here we have a Buoyant Fortress. It is quite well defended, so I think it is pretty safe, but this German 36th Infantry Division is in danger of being encircled and cut out of the fortress. So I'm thinking of moving it 1, 2, and now artillery goes here, or maybe not. I will move the entire division here on the road, and I will try to attack this Russian cavalry. We will see if it will give us anything good. I hope. Okay, and now here these Russians are making their progress quite fast. That's pretty impressive. I think I will still fortify this place, and then this line seems to be pretty solid. I think that there is a little chance for these Russians to break through, but to make sure I will build some fortifications here as well, like here in the Gumbinen and there. Also, I will move this infantry brigade here, so these guys will get their supply. Let's check it out. Yes, and now here. These dudes need reinforcements desperately, so Russians will have much more problems with breaking through, and they will retreat to Ragnit. I think that's all as for Germans. Now let's go to the German combat phase. And now, since my artillery here has nothing much to do, I will use it to fire on these Russians. I have 3, and here I have no artillery, so I should move this artillery here. Oh, that was... I thought I have 2 artillery units here, but I have only 1, so it will be quite problematic for me to hit these Russians, because I have a 3, they are fortified, so I have -1, so I have 2. So I will use 1-2 column, so I need to get 2 or 12 to score a hit. Nothing. Alright, so let's go. I planned 1 attack, yes, here. So I have 6 and 6. My artillery cannot support combat attack because it has 0. So I have 12 against 4, so I have 3 to 1. But Russians are in the woods and on the hills. So it is -1 for woods and -1 for the hills. So it's 1 to 1. Now, it doesn't sound very good. 4! Oh! 4 in 1 to 1 means -1, -1, dot. So each side suffers 1 step loss. And I have to make a disorganization roll for Germans. Oh my, they failed! I am pretty surprised. It is very hard to disorganize Germans, because they need 11 or 12 only, but you see, it is possible. Okay, let's go to the German supply phase. I think I haven't much more to do when it comes to Germans. Oh, maybe. Why not? Let's go here. I have this artillery unit here. I can fire on these Russians. I have 6, and they are in the woods, so I have 5, and they are fortified, so I have 4. So I'm firing on them with 4. And when I'm firing with 4, my chances are a little bigger. 5. Sadly, it is a miss. Okay, so that's all. And now supply phase. So how about Germans? I think they are all in supply here, here as well, here too. And these guys have supply, so we can remove this -1 out of supply marker. And I think, yes, that's all when it comes to Germans. We can go to Russians. So let's start on the south. And now, these Russians have quite good artillery. So this artillery moves here and takes fire formation, while these brigades move 1, 2, 1, 2. And now this division moves 1, 2. So this artillery cannot... oh, I will make it stay here. So it will provide a supply chain. And now these brigades. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So I will have quite an impressive attack with 2 divisions. Wonder if it will be enough, because Germans are fortified, they have they have artillery, they have a command here, so it will be tough nuts to crack. Alright, now the main forces of Samsonov are here. And where they are going to go? Here we have fortifications and a river. And very strong German artillery. So how about trying to get around this Buoyant Fortress? Like here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Commander goes here. One, 2, 3, and now 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, and 1. This division moves here. This supply base moves here. And now here there is a chance, because this German division was disorganized because of its attack. So is there any chance for me to surround it? This can be problematic. 1, 2, 3, or maybe not. 1, 2, 3, 4, and cannot move here because it would need 2 more movement points, so I can move here only here. And now this division. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Now this cavalry. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. this cavalry might go out of this place, but no, let it stay where it is. This division goes here. This cavalry moves here to provide a chain of supply. 1, 2. So this artillery will provide some combat support. They move here. They are here. And they are here. So that's when it comes to Russians here. And finally north. I think that the most important is to break through this Russian defense. So I have to move all my units here, 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 and I will need all my artillery as for commander. I will place him here. Okay, and so now 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have to stay at this hex. 1, 2, 3. This artillery moves here, and I think that's all. This is going to be again one more desperate attack. Maybe this brigade will move here, and this turns out to be quite a bloody battle. A lot of bloody battles in this combat phase, actually. So that's all for Russian movement phase. Let's go to the Russian combat phase, and we have a lot of stuff to do. Starting here. Now the question is, if I want to use this artillery to provide a combat support, or to make a barrage against Germans. I can attack this German brigade with my artillery, or I can use this artillery to support my attack. I think I will use it for the independent attack. I have 6 and -1 because of the fortification, so I have 5. So there is a chance that I will achieve something. And yes, I did. I actually rolled 3, so Germans have -1. Sorry, it was here. They suffer 1 step loss. Okay, so now I am attacking, but only with my infantry, without artillery. So 16 and 16. It's 32, 32 against 3, and I'm using this artillery support, so I have 6. 32 against 6 is 5 to 1. It is 5 to 1. Then I have 4 to 1 because of fortification, and 3 to 1 because of the commander. So it's 3 to 1, and let's make a roll. It is 6. 6 in the 3 to 1 is -1 V1. So defender has to retreat 1 hex, while attacker suffers 1 step loss and may pursue it. So this brigade suffers 1 step loss, and these Russians are moving here. Okay, and next combat goes here. This time I will use my artillery for the combat support. So I have 6 and 16, so I have 22, 22 against 6. It is 4 to 1, 5 to 1 for the commander, 3 to 1 for the river, 2 to 1 for the fortification, and 1 to 1 for the woods. So it's 1 to 1. Not a very good odds. It is 7. 7 in 1 to 1. It is A1. So attacker has to retreat 1 hex. No good. I achieved very little. And now another combat goes here. These Germans are disorganized, so their strength is halved. Again, I have a choice to use my artillery as a direct combat support or to perform an attack against the Germans. I have 6 and 4, so it's about 10. That's pretty impressive artillery fire. So let's fire with all this artillery. I have 10, minus 1 because of the woods, so it is 9. Let's check it out. I rolled 8. So 8 in the 9-10 is minus 1. So one German unit suffers 1 step loss. Okay, and now we can resolve a combat. I have 16, 18, 22 and 26. 26 against 3. Oh, they are disorganized, so they are halved. And when halved, they are rounded up. So they have 2, 4, and it is 1, so it is still 1. So it is 5. I have 26 against 5, so it's 5 to 1. And minus 1 for the wood, so it's 4 to 1. Let's make a roll. 9. 9 in the 4 to 1, it is minus 1 B1. So attacker suffers 1 step loss, and the defender has to retreat 1 hex. And they cannot retreat. Here is a lake, so they cannot move through the lake, and this hex is in the Russian zone of control, so they have suffered 1 step loss. So 1 German brigade is done. Oh, so far Russians are doing quite well in their attacks. Oh, let's see if they will do it here as well. Oh, I should remove this fortification. Okay, so now let's go here. First, this group attacks this brigade. So I have 8 and 8. This is 16 against 5, and I am using this artillery to support. So this is 16 against 7. So it's 2 to 1. 3 to 1 because of the commander, 2 to 1 because of the commander, and 1 to 1 because of the woods. So it is 1 to 1. Now, hard. But I rolled 4. Maybe I should place it here. I rolled 4. 4 in 1 to 1 is minus 1, minus 1. Not bad. Minus 1. Minus 1, and now I have to make a disorganization check for Russians. 3. They failed. Oh. So this Russian stack is disorganized. That's unlucky. Okay, the other combat goes here. I will use my artillery too. So I have 4, 6 and 10, and I will fire my artillery on these Germans. I have 10, they are fortified, so it's 9, and they are in the woods, so it is 8. So I'm firing with 8. Oh, 7. 7 in 8. It is a miss. Damn. I wasted all my precious artillery for this combat attack, so let's resolve a normal combat. I have 8, 16 and 24. 24 against 5, and I will use this artillery support, so I have 8. 24 against 8, it is 3 to 1, 4 to 1 because of the commander, 3 to 1 because of the fortification, and 2 to 1 because of the woods. So it's 2 to 1. Oh my, very bad roll. 2 to 1, 11, this is A2. So attacker has to retreat 2 hexes. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And when you are retreating 2 hexes, you have to make a disorganization check. First for this brigade, it passed. Then for this stack, it passed. Good. And finally the last combat. Again artillery support. 6. And now I will use this artillery for the direct combat support. So I have 6, 10, 14, 18. 18 against 6 against 3 is 6 to 1, and then 6 to 1, 5 to 1 because of the river, 4 to 1 because of the fortification, and 3 to 1 because of the woods. So it's 3 to 1 and 7. It is -1, -1. Each side suffers 1 step loss. So this cavalry and this German brigade is eliminated. So Russians might move onto this hex. Good. Okay, that's all when it comes to the Russian combat phase. Yes? Yes. So now we have to check for Russian supply. And I see that I made one grave mistake here. I should move these supply bases on this hex. Huh. I forgot about it, and this is my mistake. Now my Russians will pay for this. Why? Let's check for supply. My supply base is here, so 1, 2. This unit has supply, this unit has supply, this unit has, they all have. But here, all these guys here are out of supply. Yeah, all of them. Because this hex is in the enemy zone of control, so we cannot trace a supply line with this hex. So we have 1, 2, and no any further. So all these guys, all these poor guys here are out of supply, and I have to mark them with -1. And that's because I forgot about moving these supply bases. Yeah. That's the biggest problem with for Russians in this game. Just like in the history. Russians suffered supply problems during the entire World War I. And this make their armies very ineffective sometimes. Okay, that's all. And now here, let's go down. I have chain of supply, yeah, no problem here. This is supply base here, so they are in supply. But I think they are not. Let's check. Supply base is here, so 1, 2. No, they are out of supply. And now here. They are, but they are not. They are not. So I need to find some counters. Oh. They are out of supply. And they are too. I will use this counter. It has different color, but it is also for Russians. Okay, and that's all. So it was quite a good combat phase for Russians, but very unlucky for when it comes to the supply phase. I should think about it while performing my pursuits and so. Okay, so that's all when it comes to the turn 5, and we are moving into turn 6, which is last turn of this particular scenario. We are starting with Germans, and again starting on the south. No problems here, Germans are all on their positions, and no, here we find we have a problems. So Germans are retreating here and here on the other side of the river, and now I will take this brigade and this artillery. It takes one movement point to turn into the movement move check. So 1, 2 and 3. It returns into the combat mode. I had to retreat from this Willenberg because if Russians would capture Osterburg, this could be much more problematic for me. Now, here, I think Buoyant Fortress is pretty safe for now. There is not a danger for Russians to capture it, but I feel sorry for this poor division here. It was disorganized, it suffered heavy losses, and I think nothing is going to save it. All I can do is to fortify itself, but I think they are already done. And now you can see that this Russian cavalry might even launch an attack against my artillery, my headquarters. So I have to do something. So 1, 2, 3. Artillery will remain here and turn into the combat mode. They will join it, and this headquarters will come here as well to support this attack. Hope it will be successful. Might even help these guys here. Okay, so they are all defending. And now on the north. The fact that Russians suffered this out of supply problem means that they will have to slow down a bit, which gives me a chance to fortify my units and to prepare some solid line of defense. And this division 1, 2, 2.5 I might move here, maybe even here 3. It can move, it still can have a half of movement point, so it can go here to stop these hordes of Russians. And I think that's all when it comes to the movement phase of Germans. So let's check German combat. And first, I will use my artillery to shell these Russians. I have 6 and I have 6, so it's 12. That's a pretty big number. And these Russians are in the open ground, so they have no hideout. Let's roll. 5 in the column of in the verse of 11 or more, and 5 it is -1 and dot. So Russians have to suffer 1 step loss, and they have to make morale check. They passed. Good. Now we have a combat here to resolve. So I am attacking with these 2 brigades, so I have 6, and I will give them a support of this artillery, so it is another 6, so they have 18 against 6. So it's 3-1, it is 4-1 because of the commander, and it is clear terrain, so no modifiers, so it is just 4-1. Pretty good roll. It is B2. So Russians have to retreat 2 hexes. 1 and now. They cannot retreat here because it is enemy zone of control. Here as well because they would overstack this hex. So because of that they have to suffer 1 step loss. And because it was B2, they have to go through the disorganization check, and they failed. This is another major problem of Russians in this game. They are very vulnerable for disorganization. And Germans are entering this hex, and that hex as well. So they will save this unit from being cut out of supply. And any other things I can do in this German combat phase? I might try to fire on these Germans. I have 3. They have -1 because of the fortifications, so it is 2, no, nothing. And that's all when it comes to the German combat phase. And let's go with German supply. I think all German units are in supply. There was a problem here, but they came to help, so this unit is reorganized. Sorry, not reorganized, but they have supply. And no other German units have such problems. So we can go to the last part of this playthrough. So it is going to be the last Russian movement phase. So let's carry on with the final Russian actions. Starting south. Now I will move this artillery here. This artillery 1, 2. Oh no. It will stay here, and that's all. So a chain of supply. Now here 1, 2, 1, 1. I will try to attack here once more. And now my artillery 1, 2. Sorry. 1, 2. No. Oh. Again, I'm sorry. I can only move here. 1, 2. While this artillery moves here. These guys go here, they go here, and they go here. While this division retreats. Now, a Buoyant Fortress neighborhood. My attempt to surround and destroy this division failed. So these Russians are fortifying themselves. They were disorganized, and they have a problem because, well, this hex is already has a maximum of stacks, so I cannot move this division here. All I can do is I can do something like this. Instead of fortifying this brigade, I can move it here. Then this infantry takes its place. This artillery goes into the combat mode, while this cavalry retreats here. Okay, this should be good. Now I move this artillery 1, 2. They go here. Okay, and my supply base moves right here, while this division 1, and I think that's all. Okay, and now north. Can't do much here because of this massive out of supply situation, and these guys are disorganized, so they have to retreat. And now 1, 2, 3. This unit will try to seize this victory point. This division goes here. They have all wait for the supply, and this supply base goes here, and this supply base goes here as well. Okay, I think that's all when it comes to the Russian movement. I don't have much to move on the north because of this damn lack of supply. So all I can do is to attack on the south, hoping it might be more effective. So here, I will use my artillery to fire on Germans. I have 4, 6, 10 and 12. So I have 12 and -1, -2, so it's 10. Let's make a roll. In the column of 10, 6, nothing. Only 6 and 7 means nothing in this verse, and that's what I get. That was very unlucky roll. So let's resolve combat. I have 3 brigades, so they have 24. 24 against 6, it is 3-1. Plus commander, it is 4-1. Minus river, 3-1. Minus fortification, 2-1. And minus woods, it's 1-1. No, no, no. 6. A1. So attacker retreats. Again. Okay. These Germans are defending here very well. Okay, now here. I will use my artillery to shell on the Germans. I have 3, 6, and 10 and 14. So I have 14 points of artillery firing on them. I have -1 because of the fortifications, so it is 13, and -1 because of the woods, so it is 12. So still it is maximum verse, because maximum verse is 11. It is 6. 6 means -1. So Germans have to suffer 1 step loss. So they decide to sacrifice their artillery. And now let's go on with the combat. I have 8 plus 8, it is 16. 8 plus 8, it is another 16, so it's 32. And I will use this artillery. So I have 36 against 3. It is 10-1. -1 because of the woods, -1 because of the fortification. It is 8-1. And the result is 5. In 8-1, it is B3 -1. So defender has to retreat 3 hexes and suffer 1 step loss. And because of this, this brigade is eliminated. So Russians might capture this hex. Okay, and finally here. Oh, I will try to attack here with support of my artillery. 4, 6 and 10, and this entire artillery fires on these Russians. I have 10, -1 because of the woods and -1 because of the fortification, so I have 8. 4 in the 8 means -1. So one German unit suffers 1 step loss. So they have 4. And now I am attacking. I have 16 against 3, 5, 7 and 7 and 4. 7 and 4 is 11. 11 against 16. It is 2 to 1. 3 to 1 for the commander. 2 to 1 for the commander. 1 to 1 because of the woods, and -1 because of the fortifications. So it's 1 to 2. Very small chance. 6. It is A1, and so it was only 1 brigade. I thought these were 2 brigades, so it is not 1 to 2, but 1 to 3. So with 6, result means A1 -1. So they suffer 1 step loss, and they have to retreat 1 hex, and also they have disorganization check. They passed. And now Germans are allowed to pursue it, so they take this victory point back. Okay, of course Russians might get their supply now, but it doesn't matter for this particular gameplay, because it was the last phase of the game and last turn as well. If we would play campaign, then we would care of course about it a lot. But for now, all we have to do is to count the victory points to see who won this scenario. And I think Russians have a good chance to achieve a victory. Alright, I made it. So Germans get 3 victory points, while Russians get 6 victory points. So yes, Russians actually won. But if you are surprised about it, remember that these are just the first days of the offensive. And yes, at the beginning of this offensive, Russians actually managed to make their way through the eastern Prussia. They captured several cities and towns, but every day of combat made Russians weaker. They suffered the biggest troubles with the supply, as you can see here. The units were slow, and they couldn't capture any major fortress of the Germany. But Germans faced some problems as well. They suffered some losses, and they realized that their units weren't strong enough to stop Russian offensive. To stop Russians, Germans have to move some of the units from the Western Front. And some historians think that this was one of the crucial moments of the war. Because of that, Germans lacked of their divisions during the critical battles at the Western Front during the 1940. So some historians claim that this battle was very decisive for the entire World War I, because Germans couldn't use their entire strength on the Western Front because of this Russian offensive. As you can see, it was just the beginning of the offensive. If you want to see how the entire Russian offensive attempt went, and then how the Germans managed to turn it into their very effective victory, you have to play the other 4 scenarios of this game. I played just one to show you how the game works. As for now, thank you for watching and see you again.